All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the massive, often hidden system that gets food from a patch of dirt all the way to your dinner plate. It's a way more complex and fascinating world than you might think, so let's get into it. I mean, really think about it. That apple you're eating, the milk in your coffee, where did it actually come from? Not just the store, but the whole chain of events, the dominoes that had to fall perfectly for it to get to you. That's the journey we're going to trace today. So first things first, we got to get on the same page with our terms. We all have a pretty clear picture of agriculture, right? A farmer, a field, a tractor. And that's absolutely the foundation. But agribusiness, well, that's the entire skyscraper built on top of that foundation. It's everything, from the company that engineers the seeds to the factory that makes the cardboard for the cereal box. Understanding this difference is really the key to seeing the whole picture. And this quote, it just nails it. It really gets to the heart of the relationship. Without the farm, there's nothing. No raw materials to process, no food to ship, no products to sell. You see, agriculture is the essential spark plug that gets this entire global machine running. Okay, so let's start right there, at that foundation. What is it about the stuff that comes off a farm that makes it so unique and, honestly, so challenging to handle? Well, farm goods basically have three tricky features. For one, they're seasonal. You can't just decide to grow strawberries in the middle of a blizzard. Second, they're perishable. A fresh head of lettuce has a ticking clock on it from the second it's picked. And third, they're bulky. Just think about how much space a truckload of watermelons takes up. The entire agribusiness system is basically a giant complex solution to these three core problems. It's how you get fresh tomatoes in December. And not all farming is the same. This slide breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you have subsistence agriculture. This is small scale, uses pretty traditional tools, and the goal is simple: feed your family. But on the other side, you've got commercial agriculture. We're talking massive scale, super high tech, and the main purpose? Profit. This is the kind of farming that really fuels that global agribusiness engine we're talking about. So let's take a look under the hood and see how this engine actually works. We're going to check out the different gears that connect that commercial farm to the rest of the world. You can really break the whole system down into three main parts. Think of them like three giant interlocking gears. First up, you have the input sector. This gives the farm everything it needs to get started. The second gear is the farm itself. That's the production hub. And the third gear is the processing sector, which turns those raw farm goods into the stuff we actually buy and eat. Let's dig into that first gear, the input sector. Before a farmer can even think about planting, they need, well, seeds. But they also need tractors, fertilizer, animal feed, and, this is a big one, financial inputs like loans and insurance to pay for it all. So if our product is a potato, this is where the farmer gets the perfect seed potato, the right fertilizer, and the loan to cover all the costs until harvest time. And then we get to the absolute heart of it all, the farm. This is that central gear, right? It's where all those inputs, the seeds, the machinery, the money, are put to work to actually grow the food. Our potato gets planted, watered, protected, and finally pulled from the ground. This is the part of the story we're all most familiar with. Now for the third gear, the processing sector. And this is crucial because a potato fresh from the field isn't a bag of potato chips, right? This is where that transformation happens. Those potatoes are stored, washed, sliced, fried, salted, and then sealed in a branded bag. This sector is where most of the value and, frankly, the profit gets added. Okay, so we've got a pallet of potato chip boxes sitting in a factory. How in the world does it get from there to your local grocery store shelf? Well, that's the final leg of this incredible journey. This is where a specialized field called agribusiness marketing steps in. And listen, this is way more than just clever commercials. It's the entire logistical and economic puzzle of moving things all the way through the system, from the raw inputs for the farmer to you, the person eating the chips. So what does it actually do? It's got four key jobs. First is assembling, gathering up all those potatoes from hundreds of different farms. It also plays a role in processing, making sure those raw goods become chips. Then comes distributing, getting all those bags onto trucks and into stores across the country. And finally, price determination, figuring out the exact right price for that bag of chips based on everything from gas prices to how much people are craving a salty snack. Now, this whole system isn't set in stone. It's constantly changing, constantly evolving. So let's look at the forces that are shaping the future of agribusiness. We're talking technology, money, and of course, the people who make it all happen. Running a business in this world is definitely not for the faint of heart. You need a massive amount of cash just to get started. You're completely at the mercy of unpredictable weather. The prices for your products can swing wildly from one week to the next. It is a very high-risk, high-stakes game.
But here's the really cool part. For just about every one of those challenges, technology is offering some incredible solutions. Modern tractors and GPS-guided harvesters are game changers for efficiency. Genetically engineered crops can fight off diseases or survive a drought. E-commerce platforms can now connect farmers directly to buyers, cutting out the middlemen. And advanced irrigation, it can literally make a desert bloom.
Of course, none of this progress happens without money. Financing is the fuel for this engine. You've got short-term financing. Think of it like a credit card for the season's seeds and fertilizer. Then there's medium-term financing for bigger purchases, like a new tractor. And finally, you have long-term financing for the biggest investment of all, buying the land itself. So what kind of person actually thrives in this world? It takes a really special, unique blend of skills. You have to understand farming, of course, but you also have to have sharp business and financial chops. You need to be a market analyst, a risk manager, and you've got to be up on the latest tech. You basically need to be part farmer, part Wall Street whiz, and part Silicon Valley techie, all rolled into one. So, from a single seed to a mind-bogglingly complex global network, agribusiness is like the invisible architecture of our daily lives. We've seen how it works, and we know it's always changing, driven by new tech and new demands, which leaves us with one final big question to chew on. What's the next big idea out there that's going to completely change how we eat?